So while that's uploading, I'll finish the chapter and hopefully it will make it to the internet today. I have arranged to hold the Christmas service in the evening, when most of the urgent operations have been done, and we have a brief moment of quiet before the night's work begins. Those who are not on duty file quietly into the anteroom, now serving as a chapel to this portion of the British Expeditionary Force in France. The Christmas message is a difficult one to preach. How does one speak of God's love to men and women who have come from worlds full of men damaged and disabled by conflict? Instead, I speak of sacrifice. The father of the son for the father, aware even so of a painful lack of empathy. Most of us in this room are non-combatants, and so the emphasis must be on service. Yet as I urge them to present their bodies as a living sacrifice, I am also aware of the walking wounded, and wonder what they must think of me, standing before them sound of mind and body, with a warm bed to sleep safely in. I remember Armstrong, and am almost ashamed to hear myself speak the words of Psalm 118. The Lord is on my side, I will not fear. What can man do unto me? It sounds an easy thing for me to say. Halfway through dinner, something reminds me about the letter still in my pocket, still unopened. In a rush of courage, bolstered by a glass or two of beer, I take it out and tear it open. Relief flows through me. It is from my father. Dear Leo, Mother has taken a turn for the worse. She would like to see you. I hope you can get leave. Dad. Once the rush of relief has abated, I am uncomfortably aware of an absence of any emotion concerning the news the letter contains. It occurs to me to wonder whether the delay in the letters reaching me is of any significance, but it is only a passing thought, overridden by the practical consideration of getting home. I don't believe for a moment that my mother wants to see me. News from home? The table wobbles as Dr. Owen sits down beside me. I raise the letter still in my hand. My mother's ill. Nothing serious, I hope. TB. I refold the letter and return it to my pocket. I don't think there's much they can do. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It must be hard being so far away. Are you close? I keep my eyes on my plate as I shake my head. I can smile at the question, but avoid the doctor's eye. No, I tell him. Not close. Still, she must be proud of you, a man of the cloth, exempt from service, but choosing to come out here anyway, and all that. Yes. I watch as my hand reaches out for my water glass. The water is not quite cold. I lift it, feel its weight in my hand, but do not put it to my mouth. I'm due for leave soon. My attempt to sound matter-of-fact and businesslike is lamentable. Next week, in fact. I count the days in my head. It will mean leaving here in 4 days' time. If I go, Mr. Ellis. Owen hurriedly shovels food into his mouth. It doesn't interrupt his flow of speech. Presumably it is necessity that compels him. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. About what? My hand is still on my glass, my mind thousands of miles away. I turn to the doctor with some effort. This habit you have of refusing leave. It has not gone unnoticed, and although I hardly like to mention it, there has been a certain amount of speculation. My stomach turns over. Speculation? Oh, you know, nothing serious, just idle talk. Nothing for you to concern yourself with. Though I must confess I rather hope that the theory involving communion wine and a choir master's daughter has at least a ring of truth to it. He grins at me and, encouraged by my laughter, puts a hand on my shoulder and leans closer. Seriously, though, you are not indispensable, Mr. Ellis. We can manage without you for a few days. This time I manage a little more than a smile. He shrugs and changes tack. It has a bad effect on home morale, too. Your family must want to see you. I turn back to studying my water glass. A sudden heat burns in my cheeks and a feeling like panic opens up within me at the thought of going back. Owens must have misunderstood, for his voice suddenly softens. I understand that it can be a difficult thing to see a loved one so ill. It is only natural that you should want to spare yourself. But I'm sure your mother would like to see you. Even if you aren't close, how will you feel if you don't go before it is too late? Be kind to her, Mr. Ellis. Be kind to yourself. At this last command I take my eyes from the glass and look around him. To myself. You need a break, Leo. His use of my first name surprises me. In my embarrassment I almost miss his next words. You work very hard. You're like a machine man. Some men thrive on that, but I'm not sure you do. How long will you last if you don't enjoy what you do? What has that to do with it? The question irritates me. Enjoyment is surely unnecessary, and it seems wrong to expect it. We are at war. What sort of a man enjoys that? Plenty do, Leo, Owens assures me, but that wasn't what I meant. I am not sure this work gives you any satisfaction. You look shattered most of the time. You need a rest. No, I don't. You are an asset to the CCS, Owens insists. But at what cost? If you break down, you'll find yourself back in England, and we'll be short-handed. I give a short bark of laughter to hide the dread that courses through me, but I catch his eye and understand that he is serious. I know you're right. I will give it some thought. The bell starts to ring. Owens gets up, still chewing, and makes for the door. Take the leave, Mr. Ellis. And that's the end. See you next week.